There are certain things that only drugs and alcohol invite into your life. When you're sober, you don't run into the kind of chaos that becomes normal when you're using. Sober people don't randomly walk past someone overdosing on fentanyl. They don't have to tell someone not to smoke crack on their porch and then get threatened for it. They don't find themselves chasing people out of their hallway in the middle of the night, wondering how things got this far. That kind of reality doesn't just show up on its own, it gets invited in. I remember a therapist once telling me that I was drawn to the darker parts of cities, the underbelly. The subculture most people avoid. At the time, I didn't fully understand what she meant. I thought I was just curious. I thought I was just trying to feel something different. But looking back, I can see it clearly now. That curiosity, mixed with a need to escape what I was feeling inside, pulled me deeper than I ever intended to go. It landed me in a room inside a house that nobody really wanted to live in a part of town where people didn't feel free, they felt stuck, like prisoners in their own lives. The kind of place where hope feels like a rumor, not a reality. And once again, time repeated itself. I found myself accepted into another rehab program. I had about a week before I was supposed to check in. And during that time, I had to clean out yet another place I had been living while trying to sober up. Preparing to leave, preparing to start over, again. This wasn't my first rodeo. I had told myself before that the last time would be the last time. I really believed it, but there I was again, packing up what little I had, facing the same road I thought I had already walked for the final time. As I was cleaning, I started noticing things I had ignored while I was using. Little things, simple things, things that should have mattered. There was a backyard, grimy, sure, but still a backyard. There was a small porch with a view into other people's yards. On a good day, I could imagine sitting out there with a cup of coffee, feeling the sun, hearing kids playing a few houses down. Just being present, just being alive in a quiet, normal moment. And it hit me. Drugs and alcohol don't just take the big things from you. They steal the small things too. The simple pleasures. The moments that don't cost anything but mean everything. They don't just wreck your life, they dull it. Strip it down and leave you unable to even notice what's still good. With almost no money, I started moving my belongings the only way I could on the bus. Piece by piece, bag by bag. A year earlier, I had promised myself I wouldn't be in that position again. I told myself I'd be moving my things in my own vehicle, that I'd be back on my feet. But there I was, doing it all over again. Stuck, broke, carrying everything I owned through a system that didn't stop for anyone. Neck deep in poverty, neck deep in my own choices. The thing that once gave me relief, drugs, alcohol, escape, had turned on me. What used to numb the pain now amplified it. What used to feel like freedom now felt like a trap. It wasn't relief anymore. It was misery. It was loneliness. It was insanity. But this time, something was different. Somewhere along the way, I made a decision, not a loud one. Not a dramatic one, but a real one. I decided to turn everything over to God. Not halfway. Not just when things got bad. All of it. So when it came time to choose a rehab, I chose something different. I chose a Christian-based program. And not just any program, it was run by the same organization that had helped me a year earlier. Same foundation, same mission. But this time, I was walking into it with a different mindset. I wasn't just trying to get sober. I was trying to surrender. It felt like it was time to go deeper. To stop playing the surface game and actually build something real with God. Something that could hold when everything else fell apart. Because at this point, I knew something for sure. If I tried to do this on my own again, I'd end up right back where I started. Maybe worse. So I stood there, surrounded by everything I was about to leave behind, holding on to what little I had. And for the first time in a long time, I felt a different kind of hope. Not the kind that comes from circumstances, the kind that comes from surrender. And I told myself, maybe this time I stay sober. Maybe this time I stay close to God. Maybe this time I finally make it out.